Welcome to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry. This is your Wednesday video. We have videos Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on this channel. Many of you have been wanting to see a tour of my sewing studio. I have it in a she shed outside of my home, and it's just a comfy little cozy area that I've created here. My creative space where I mainly do sewing, crafting, and quilting. So most of the activities that I do up here are related to those things, and then I also have an area in my home where I long arm my quilts, or I quilt my quilts with an automated machine. So today, after waiting very long time, I know many of you have asked for this tour for a long time, and I finally got things in such an order that I am proud to say this is where I do my creating. So step on in. I'm going to give you a little tour going from left to right and all the way around, and you'll see all the little things I have around and how I have them arranged, and maybe you can get some ideas for your own sewing area that you have. All right, come on in. Let's take a tour. Come on in. Welcome to the she shed. This is where the magic happens. Well, I'm standing about 1 foot outside the door, and this is what you see when you first come in. And the door, the design wall. You're going to see camera equipment and lights different places too. I try to keep that kind of inconspicuous during this tour, but you see one hanging from the ceiling there. Has a tongue and groove wood ceiling, and then we use some whitewashed siding, and we turned it horizontal instead of vertical. Gives a good effect. And you see my ruler rack over there, the cutting table, and this is a 35 by 70 mat system by Olfa. I don't know if you can still get it. I think you can. It is just configured on top of some cube systems. So Mark and I kind of designed this and made it work for the size mat that I had already purchased. You see that I have bins everywhere. I've tried to keep them pretty much corralled to back here and then on the shelf that I'll show you in a minute. I have a couple of bins that aren't labeled yet, but there's just all sorts of different categories of things that I have stored. And I like these bins because they hold a lot, and you can get those at Michael's. They're inexpensive. They hold a lot, and they keep you organized. So the other end has the same cubes in it as well. So I have different categories of things that I am keeping. So let's just go on around this way. I have my yardstick and my 60-inch soft ruler there. I have the rulers again. I have a few pattern areas there where I stick patterns. And here's the front of the table. And you can see I also have some rulers. I keep wanting to say ladders. I have some rulers on each side. These are the ones I use the most. They're my Quilter Select. There's 4 different ones there that I use. The 2 drawers below hold interfacing and things of that nature, paper type of things, foundation paper, piecing materials, things like that. I have my solids here by the bolt that I like to use. And then I have some bigger cuts right there that could serve as backgrounds or maybe even backings if there's enough. And then in this little area here, I have some blenders and solids all mixed up but by color. And then I also have a little bin there of Stonehenge that I keep, and my trash can. I have a trash can, believe it or not, in every zone in here. So anywhere I'm working, I have a trash can handy. Here is my, I'll call it my pride and joy. These are the projects that I'm currently dealing with. and they are on a rolling cart. And I'll show you that I can just pull this out into the middle of the room if I need to. And then back here I have some sewing machine supplies down there, but I also have some storage for pre-cuts. There's the air conditioner. That's the reason why the shelving, rolling shelving unit was there, is because I'm not using the air conditioner now. So I can push that over there. So I'm going to go ahead and push that back so we can continue on. Love these shelves. I got them from Wayfair. I wish I could remember the name of it, but they're metal. They're very heavy duty, and I would like to have another one. If I could work out a way to, I don't know, I need to get rid of that little area right there to be able to have another one with room. I have a couple of older sewing machines up here. One is covered, one is not. I don't know why that is. And I still need to paint the shelves that we put up for that. I wanted to paint those white, just haven't done that yet. And then here I keep some bigger yardages, like 3 yards, 5 yards. Also that top shelf there, I've been using that for leftover 108s. Once I quilt a quilt, you have so much left over sometimes. So I've just been keeping those there. They're just odd pieces. It's not selvage to selvage, so, but they're big pieces, so they would make, you know, good project pieces. And then down below I have some color cards and thread cards, things like that to help me choose color. The other little orange basket is scraps that I need to process from recent projects. There's not too much in there. Some of it's folded, some of it's laying out. If it's 45 and it's not a huge piece, sometimes I'll just spread it out like that. Keeps it from getting so many wrinkles. This little unit here. This is where my fabric landed after I decided to put it on magazine boards. So the top 4 are still in the categories, those bins that they originally were in. I have black and white, those are black and white scraps, batik, fleece and flannel, and then panels. I would like to take my panels and move them down here hanging on hangers, but I have a situation over there I'll show you in a minute. These 6 clear bins are complete fat quarters, and then in the open bins I just have some pretty yardage and pre-cuts that I've bought and are just kind of displaying at the moment. Here are some patterns I have collected, and then on the other side I have a couple of books that I refer to quite a bit. The Encyclopedia of Quilt Pieces, Quilt Piecing Patterns, Quilt Patterns, and another one of quilt blocks. And then also have my pre-cuts up here too that are wrapped, like layer cakes and jelly rolls. And that is all the jelly rolls I have, besides the small ones that I get in the Sew Sampler from time to time. These fabrics here have a little bit more than your typical yard or two. They wouldn't stand up very well, so I had to lay those down, and that's okay. But all of these I'm enjoying, and they're not color coded or anything. I could definitely do that. I just haven't. The other day though, and this goes to show why this is a good thing, is I was doing that library quilt on the long arm, and I had used a backing for it that was the exact opposite of this. It had the grayish was the wheat, and then the light background. So I was able to spot that I had this reverse, so I used that, which was up here because it was a full yard, maybe 2 yards. Do I have any left? No, this is all I have left is that fat quarter. I I was able to see it. So I never would have seen that had I not had these out like this. So I'm really enjoying that. I may color code everything one of these days. I don't know. I kind of like it like that, honestly. And then down below, I have a little organizer there that has like receipts, business cards, things like that. I decluttered my magazine stack down there to just the current things. Well, there's more than just the current things there, but it was a lot more. I threw a lot out, especially like connecting threads. Those go out of date. The other little box is just holding some other supplies, some little canvases that I use sometimes, a heat resistant mat, some dowels. I have a little ladder there so that I can get back up here. And up there, you can see the one in the center, the box in the center says kits. I think there is a kit or so up there. I think it's kits that I put together myself. There's not much in there. I really don't know. The other two boxes at the top are empty. The blue box is empty. That was a quilt kit box. And then there's my labels up there too. So I have all my labels cut out and ready to go up there in that box. This little area right here, I'm not super happy with it. Packaged Pellon and batting and stuffing and all of those sorts of things are there for now. I don't know. This needs to evolve into something better. It's pretty neat, but I don't know. And then I have a big bin of scraps, a bag of bags, and that thing in the corner is some foam. And then I have this TV here. It only gets one channel, and it's not smart enough to have me connect YouTube to it. So I think I might get that taken down. I don't think I want that anymore. And then a window. And then here's where I sit. You see this area all the time. Look familiar? I bet it does. Okay, so recently, as I was doing all of this cleaning and decluttering, this ironing station that we configured on top of some rolly cabinets was up against the wall, with the long end up against the wall. So I pulled it out because I'm finding that I need a lot of room to iron out quilt tops that have been sitting folded up. And it's really nice to have both sides of your ironing table out. So I pulled it out and I turned it, and that gives me room all the way around. And that way I can keep the floor nice and clean as well. And always have a place to do that. Backings too. Sometimes you need to give them a good ironing out before you use them. So going on around, I have a rolly cart. And this has a variety of things that I use a lot. I have a small cutting mat for over here at the machine. Some binding holders. I have duster. I have flatter. I have the acorn starch product. Some FPP rulers. And then all of this is sewing machine pieces that I need and grab all the time. Feet, screwdrivers, all that sort of stuff. The middle section has a bunch of small kits in it. There's one on the top there for a pincushion. You know, the smaller types of projects that you do when you're not sewing a quilt. So I have quite a few of those in there I need to get to. I wanted to purge some of those, but I can't let go of them yet. I just can't do it. And then down below I have all the cutting and ruler accessories that I need. Cutters that they still work, but I just don't have a good blade in them, or ruler grabbers, extra blades, new OFA cutters are down there. It's all everything related to cutting and rulers. So this can be taken over to the cutting table at any time if I'm over here and I need to deal with my rulers and cutters. And then let's see, let's get back over here where we were going. There's another trash can and there's the other trash can. This is my new table. It will fold out. This table, which I'll get to in a minute, will roll away just like my big shelving unit can. So I can put that extra table out if I need to. I don't have my inserts yet to sink my brother down into this machine, or down into this desk, but I am using it nonetheless until they get here. Over here I have what I always have by my sewing machine: pins, shears, seam ripper. I got that thread cutter there, thread threader sitting there, that lighted threader. I'm still trying to figure out how to use that the best. And then when you're chain piecing, I use that to cut my pieces apart. And I've showed you this recently with my scissors snips there. And then it has this where you can pull these out and shut this. But honestly, in here, I don't think I will ever shut those. And then here's my new Arrow chair. And going back to this back area here, this is the extra table that came with my other table that I took in the house, but I'm going to leave it in here because I have all of my needles and extra pins, some camera gear stuff, tape, other things like that that I reach for. And then the other two are thread, and then they have the thread spools you can put your thread on, and then the bottom one is also just miscellaneous. So here I have my little desk area, I guess you would say. This actually is a ironing station, but I've just not wanted to use it for that. I also have, I forgot to show you, I have rulers over here, and that's why I have this particular little board over here. If I want to sit and trim my half square triangles, I'll just grab those, this, and a cutter, and just sit at my desk and do it over there. I have a big bean bag there for Blue. That is his little perch. And all of this stuff you look at all the time. You've seen it all. A few pre-cuts sitting around for decoration. And then this bin down here is my little cutoff when I'm sewing and cutting. And I've got an inch or two of fabric. I'll throw it in there. And then ever so often, I'll bag it up and sell it on eBay. Yes, people will buy your scraps. So over here, I have a little bin on the wall for manuals, sewing machine manuals, and other equipment manuals. There's another window. One of these days, I would really like to do an actual window treatment. These work really well for keeping out either light or dark, whatever it is you don't want to see. So I need to do some curtains, I think. I think it would look nice. Okay, this area here, this is the one with the table. What is this thing? Well, first of all, let's go to the floor. I have on the right a luggage for my brother. And it looks like as many times as I have swept the floor today, I still have dirt on the floor. I think I just keep bringing it in. This thing here is a heat press, and I also have a vinyl cutter there. I have not learned to use the vinyl cutter. If you go back a ways with me, you saw me use this. You can use it to press your blocks really nice and flat, but it's made for heat transfers. So I thought if I ever did t-shirts or merch of any kind like that, I could put my vinyl logo on the vinyl and press it onto a shirt or a tote or whatever. I have not learned to use the cutter yet, and I'm actually supposed to do a video on that and have not. So maybe 2025 is going to be the year that I learn how to use this setup, especially since I bought an entire table for it. All right, above here I have the She Who Sews quilt that I did, and I free motion quilted that many moons ago, and it's hanging up here with all of your cards and letters. So yes, I do appreciate every single one of you, whether you send me a card or a letter or not, but I just want to display these. I just really like seeing them. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all your thank yous. Here I just have a little sign, Woman Cave, the sewing room. This is technically, it is a coat rack, and I do hang my coat on it if I'm wearing a coat from the house to here. Right now I am not, but I'm using it to hang my blocks. So I showed you this the other day, how I found this back in behind here. And then I have these blocks that I have going that I thought I would be working on, but I haven't yet. And then I also have the Peaceful Baskets back there, and I have our Scrappy Celebrations quilt finished hanging on a hanger, and I need to take that down to the house. And I think that's it besides a sewing mat back there. So there is around the ceiling, down and around. That's what it looks like. I usually move my little stove around, my little fireplace, different places, depending on, you know, if I'm really cold, I'll just slide it right over by me. If I just want to leave it overnight, I kind of put it in the middle of the room and turn the heat down and just leave it on, and that way all my machines and fabric and materials are temperature controlled all year round, whether it be with the heater or with the air conditioner back there. So that's it. I've used nothing very expensive to put my room together. It's started out with things that I already had, and I just kind of customized it into what I needed, like that ironing station. I had those two rolly carts, and I just turned it into a ironing station. This as well, I already had those shelves. I just had to get a big piece of plywood to put on top, and we shored it up a little bit better. I didn't put it on wheels because it was going to be too tall. And there you have it. So this is my space. This is what I do. This is where I come. This is my happy place. So this is the piecing she shed, among other things. Pretty soon we'll get into the long arm area a little more, and you'll get to see a little bit more about what that's like. But for now, thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope maybe you got some ideas for your sewing room as well. Now you know this is where Sherry sews. I hope you enjoyed that. This is about a 13 by 16 room, kind of like a large bedroom, if you will, in a home. But like I said, it is in a little outdoor shed that is heated and air conditioned, and you know, has all the modern comforts except for a bathroom. So I have to plan my time out here pretty well so that I don't have to go back and forth to the bathroom so much. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope the mystery is over for you, and you've got a good idea of what it's like out here. I really enjoy my space, and I think everyone should have a nice space to do their craft in. Even if they are very limited on space, you can always carve out a corner in your home to make it just your own for your crafting time that we all desperately need to have outside of our everyday life. So we will be back here on Friday to see what I've finished this week and what you have finished, and then back again on Monday for Monday Quilt Chat. I appreciate all of you coming in today for this little tour, and I will see you back here very soon. Bye.